What kind of life do you want to live? Like, have you ever thought about it, or you are just living by it? You know, like, for a while now, I've been thinking about the kind of life I want to live, like, specifically for myself. And when I imagine it, it's a life where I can feel deeply and think deeply and obviously express myself freely, out there. And the more I sit with this, the more I realize something very uncomfortable, that we often forget how beautiful we are as human beings. You know, like the depth of thoughts, the depth of feelings we can feel as humans is insane. Like, if you think about it, all the philosophy, all the histories, all the subjects we have around us, from psychology to sciences to quantum physics, it's insane that how much depth our brains have. I just think about it that we live in a world where survival instincts still dominate us. Even though we now live in a time where we could slow down, reflect, and explore the depth of the human mind, but instead, we let ourselves be pulled by cheap dopamine, by constant stimulation, by emotions that aren't even ours. And slowly we stop feeling. Slowly we start becoming worse than machines. Like, I remember while ago, not while ago, like recently, like bit far in past, someone asked me this specific question: do you think humans are a cancer to this planet? At that moment, looking at the world around me, like the things which were happening around me, which was like violence, rape, crime, environmental destruction around the world, like what I was seeing on news, I answered that yes, humans are a cancer to this planet. Not because humans are inherently evil, but because we cannot deny that what we have done to this planet and to ourselves. These aren't abstract ideas, these are realities which are happening right now around the world. But that person who asked me that question didn't agree with me. Um, he tried to defend humanity. He said that people still care. He started making me count the number of times we have saved so many things on the planet, right? Like how we stopped the extinction of pandas or the whales, etc. And he said that kindness still exists, that the beauty still exists in human mind. And at the time, I couldn't fully agree because like how news channels I've been looking at, and we already know the reality. I couldn't agree on it. I know that we are doing good things as well, but not fully. Like, it's not even the counter equal of the bad things we have done. But, and then some time passed by, and things started to shift in my mind when I started feeling myself, like my own brain, like how I was questioning the world, how I was looking at things, how I was feeling emotions, how deeply I was feeling things. Through witnessing care in those small moments around me, through seeing how deeply another human being could feel, think, and exist at the same time, that's when I realized something very important. That person was right, at least to some extent. that that there is beauty in us, that we have depth, that we do care about things, but it often stays invisible because we are too disconnected to notice it. So now I hold both truths at the same time. I cannot deny the violence happening around the world and the bad things we have done to this planet and to ourselves. And I cannot deny the crimes, obviously. I cannot deny the harm we have caused to this planet. But I also cannot deny that we haven't seen everything we are capable of as individuals and as humanity. What hurts the most is not just what's happening, but why it's happening. It feels like we forgot how to feel again. It feels like we lost the warmth of the human heart. It's like we became absent in our own surroundings, so disconnected that sometimes we appear worse than machines. Like, at least machines don't harm out of ego, numbness, or indifferences. you know. And I personally think that violence doesn't begin with action, it begins with disconnection. Disconnection to the environment, disconnection to ourselves, disconnection to the humanity. Environmental destruction doesn't begin with machines, it begins with the indifferences we see on this planet. It's all about the sense of ego, the all sense of indifferences we have. And cruelty doesn't begin with hatred. It begins when we stop seeing ourselves in others, when we stop putting ourselves in the shoes of others, when we lose empathy, you know. We spend so much time trying to understand the world, but we rarely look inwards. We justify our beliefs all the time. We defend our identities all the time. We argue about who is right and wrong. We are trying to defend every single thing without even totally understanding what we are defending. We are defending the things we have gotten from others, but not our own beliefs. The beliefs we need to develop by ourselves, by questioning things, by understanding the real humanity. What if the problem is the mind of the observer, the doer, the spectator, the one who stops feeling? Personally, I don't believe humans are hopeless. I believe we are unfinished, that we are capable of immense depth if we choose to reconnect with ourselves. Seriously, so I want to say this very calmly. I am not angry here, but I just want it as a message that really hits your mind and makes you think that please wake up. Not in fear, but in awareness. You are human. You can feel deeply, You can think honestly. You can notice the world and your place in it. Please read, write, walk around the world, observe, feel the nature within you, feel the emotions within you. Live as a human, not as a numb body moving through systems. In literal terms, zombies. Don't be zombies. Because the world doesn't need more speed, it needs more conscious humans. So I'm leaving you with this question. When was the last time you truly sat with yourself and allowed yourself to feel, think, write, reflect deeply? Thank you.